Okay, taking Rome Odunze for the Giants makes more sense. I don't believe in Drake May or Caleb Williams, so I'm not even going to do that. Jaden Daniels wasn't even on my top register for a top 3 quarterback.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
I mean, if you're in Pittsburgh, we're talking about a few different things. We're talking about a quarterback upgrade. We're talking about a new OC in Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh has never really gone out and gotten a quarterback. That's not really their thing. They're not a big, free agent. I mean, they'll bring in some. They're not a big trade person. That's been historically accurate. But what are they going to do this year? They've got Rudolph. They had Pickett. I believe Pickett's the only one on the actual salary, to actually be under contract and everything. Obviously, there's some rumors about Pickens as well, so I'm really excited to see what Pittsburgh's going to do moving forwards. I really believe in Tomlin, regardless of what anybody says. So let's see their YouTube channel talking about a mock draft. Who are the Steelers going to go get?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of NFL Draft Triple Take, first edition 2024. We are, as always, sponsored by UPMC. I'm Mike Pursuta, joined as always by Dale Lawley and Matt Williamson.
First of all, shout out Mike, shout out Dale, shout out Matt. Thank you for bringing us this content today.
We've been doing this for a while now, discussing an upcoming draft and how we think the pieces may fall into place. But we're doing things a little bit different this year. And one of the differences, the opinions we are about to express, the wrong opinions that Matt and Dale are going to provide, and the insight that will be forthcoming from me. It's all our own opinions. We are not trumpeting what the Steelers may or may not do. We are not.
Of course, they can't speak on behalf of the Steelers. I totally understand that. But let's see where they each individually go, where they really identify. Again, quarterback is the big question mark. But depending on what happens in Denver, you might end up getting a Russell Wilson. You might end up going after a Jimmy Garoppolo since he's been released by the Raiders. Is that really a big enough upgrade? I mean, obviously Russell Wilson is, but is Jimmy G a big enough upgrade?
For these purposes, affiliated with the Steelers. This is three guys sitting around talking NFL draft. So, fellas, welcome back. Ready to get at it?
Let's
Just
go.
shocked that they had us back.
Well, there are upsets in every draft. We're going to start today with our mock first round. And Dale, you're on the screen first. So let's take a look at your picks.
Okay, interesting. A lot of people have the Patriots skipping on Marvin Harrison and taking Jaden Daniels. Chargers getting Malik Neighbors would be interesting. Giants getting Bowers means that they're getting rid of Darren Waller. Alt makes sense. Dallas Turner makes sense. Rome Odunze. So they end up with Caleb and Rome Odunze. So that's interesting. And then Fashanu goes to the Jets. Okay. I mean, I don't love this.
Through 10. Anything on here that you had to wrestle with or that you think is, especially?
I don't think Jaden Daniels is anything too crazy. And the fact that people trashed Lamar Jackson forever, but they're just kind of ignoring Jaden Daniels kind of makes no sense to me. But, hey, that's just me.
Enlightening.
Yeah, I think the first five guys are pretty chalky when you start looking at mock drafts, whatever order those guys go in. To me, I think one of the real wild cards in this draft goes at 6, tight end Brock Bowers.
I feel like it's an overdraft. I feel like tight ends are not top 10s. I'm sorry. If I'm New York, I'm taking a tackle, an edge, another wide receiver. But then again, you have Jalen Hyatt. I mean, to be honest, I'd probably trade down from 6, snag up another pick or so, pick in the mid-15s or so, and then go out there and get, another tight end, go out there and get somebody else. You need a quarterback more than you need a tight end in New York. So,
because typically you don't see tight ends go that high, but you can't just look at him as a tight end. You have to look at him as a pass catcher. And so to me, I know the Giants, that may not be a screaming need for the Giants, another tight end, but you have to look at him like he's just a big wide receiver.
One of the caveats that we decided on.
Yeah, but are you really going to play him as a wide receiver? Of course you're going to play him like a Laporta, a Kelsey, somebody like that, or even a Kittle sometimes, and really throw him out there downfield. But he's also going to have to block. Like, where are his levels when it comes to blocking? Where is he graded there? You had Darren Waller, which you guys didn't really do a whole lot with. So I'm just New York feels like the wrong place to go that high for Brock Bowers.
Before doing this was we weren't including potential trades. So that being the case, I think the Bears are, for our purposes, not trading their quarterback and not trading the pick. So if they end up with Justin Fields throwing, who better to be on the receiving end than Marvin Harrison?
Okay, this one's obviously different quite a bit. J.C. Latham following down to 9 would be great for Chicago. God, imagine if Caleb Williams goes 3 to the Patriots. All I can see right now, okay, I'm picturing it right now. I go to turn on my Roku. I immediately tune in to the Rich Eisen show, and I see Chris Brockman without a shirt on, with Caleb Williams' face painted on his chest, like screaming at the top of his lungs, and Rich just dying laughing. That's what I see. That's what I see immediately. I see Brockman losing his mind for getting Caleb Williams. And of course, it would be as soon as Bill Belichick left. Crazy. Roma Dunze makes sense there. Malik Neighbors. I just don't know this Malik Neighbors thing, okay? LSU has a history of good wide receivers, but they also have a history of wide receivers named Terrace Marshall Jr., who everyone thought was going to be the next Jamar Chase. Didn't really turn into that. Obviously, that's a Carolina Panthers problem, but man, the idea that you could walk out of this draft possibly as a Chicago's Bears fan with Marvin Harrison Jr. and J.C. Latham, that'd be a great draft for y'all.
Junior, guys, he is my head and shoulders best receiver available, and that's just the old eye test. Just watching some college football on Saturdays.
What conference did he play in?
He played in the Big Ten Conference.
Okay, just checking.
Drake May is my second quarterback to the Commanders, and I like him better than the other two.
I just can't believe it. If he falls to 3, I'm going to die laughing.
I might be a little bit on an island regarding that, but based on our no trade scenario and Harrison going 1, I think the Atlanta Falcons would love this because Jaden Daniels of LSU would fall down to the Falcons at number 8, and the rest of it, as you said, Dale Chalky. Matt, let's take a look at what you've got cooked up for picks 1 through 10.
Yeah, you mentioned the Falcons at 8, and this might be a little controversial as
Okay, J.J. McCarthy. Okay, taking Roma Dunze for the Giants makes more sense. I don't believe in Drake May or Caleb Williams, so I'm not even going to do that. Jaden Daniels wasn't even on my top register for a top 3 quarterback. I'm sorry. Marvin Harrison's going to be a Hall of Famer. Malik Neighbors, again, don't know enough about. Brock Bowers, I feel like, is overdrafted. Fashanu makes sense. McCarthy feels weird. If that's the case, taking him at 8, I'm assuming that would mean that they don't go get Justin Fields. So that means the Bears would then trade Justin Fields somewhere else, which I'm assuming would then not be Atlanta, the Patriots keeping him or them. So do you trade Fields to New York maybe? Then Fields and a Dunze, Jalen Hyatt. I don't know. That's weird.
we sit here in the middle of February. But I think J.J. McCarthy's stock could really be on the rise in the media circles, when he goes to the Combine. Really, really good athlete, phenomenal in terms of, interviews, leadership, all that type of thing. But I do think the Falcons are going to be aggressive with the quarterback spot. So I didn't know exactly what to do with them.
All right. Well, I think Terrion Arnold is the best cornerback in this draft. I think he's really good. At 12, then I got.
Here we go. Okay, Minnesota getting Terrion. Bo Nix to the Broncos looks nice. Okay, there's some good ones here. Brian Thomas Jr., a lot of people are saying he's going to be good. Him going to the Colts would be awesome. You guys get Cooper DeJean. Okay. I'm guessing that's to remedy the whole Desmond King thing.
Bo Nix going to the Denver Broncos.
If the Bengals get J.C. Latham at 18, good Lord.
Wow. I think the reason I went with that, I think he kind of fits into what Sean Payton does offensively, getting the ball out quick, a lot of the shorter stuff. It's what he ran with Drew Brees to a certain degree. So to
be honest, if I'm the Colts, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at all these. If I'm the Colts, I give up Brian Thomas Jr. and I take Latham instead. shore up that line. You're going to lose some guys here in the next few years, especially as guys get older. Anthony Richardson's going to need the help, going to need the protection. So I'm taking a tackle. I'm sorry if I'm the Colts. But Cooper DeJean's a solid pick.
I don't know if he's the next best quarterback, but I think that's where a good landing spot for him. And then, you're looking on down there, love Jackson Powers Johnson, the center out of Oregon, but he goes at 17. And then that means the Steelers get Cooper DeJean, the do-everything cornerback, safety, return guy.
When you say do everything,
Iowa.
you are not exaggerating.
What conference did he play in?
The Big Ten Conference.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I saw too much of that guy in Iowa City. Mike Pursuita's picks 11 through 20. I'll jump right down to the bottom. I have Jack.
Okay, so this one's got a little bit different. Instead, you guys are getting a center. Makes sense. Get ready for the future. Interesting.
Jackson Powers Johnson coming to Pittsburgh with the 20th overall pick. And Dale, I'm with you on Bo Nix. I got him going to the Raiders at 13. You had him to Denver at 12. But I think he's going to go higher than people think. I think they're going to love what they see of him in the workout stage of this. And he's got some ridiculous statistics. And I think he has the size and the experience. Quinion Mitchell, really interesting player to me. I got him going to Denver at number 12. One of, if not the best cornerback available. Matt, what do you have in this particular third of the first round?
Yeah, I have Guyton, who you had going 14, going to the Steelers. He looks like a left tackle. He moves like a left tackle. He actually looks like a power forward. He was really impressive.
To be honest, I feel like in this moment, the Steelers got screwed. I mean, look at that. The Rams take DeJean, who I think would be good in your system, but really losing Latham, losing Jackson Powers Johnson, even Talise. I mean, those are some solid losses. And for you to settle on Guyton, I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about Guyton.
Senior Bowl, but he's really only played on the right side. Steelers will figure that out. Powers Johnson's a guy we've brought up a couple.
To be honest, if you're not going to shore up the offensive line with a solid person, and if you have to trade up 2 picks, that's you probably get it for what, a 6th, a 7th. Go get Latham. I just feel like it's just such a weird spot. Do you take best available, or do you take the tackle? I don't know. I'm very conflicted right now because I love seeing these edge guys come off. But obviously, you've got a pretty good edge rushers. You've got pretty good linebackers. Really, that cornerback room is the one where you should shore up if you're not going to get a higher graded offensive lineman. Maybe I'm just not the guy. Maybe I just haven't seen enough Guyton tape. But
Times I think he'd really stabilize that Jacksonville line. And then Byron Murphy, I wanted to mention too. He's an extreme athlete. And you got to realize Seattle just, signed or hired, Baltimore's defensive coordinator. They want versatile, explosive defensive front guys. So I think that would be a good fit with the Seahawks.
Still one more third to get to as we continue taking a projection at the first round. And Dale, your picks 21 through 32.
Yeah, I mean, you start looking here and you're going to get to
yeah, that's where I feel like Guyton should go. Post 20. The fact that we got Byron Murphy there too.
Cleveland does not have a first-round draft pick.
Neither does my Carolina Panthers,
because they traded that away. But then you look at the Baltimore Ravens, and they take Graham Barton here at the 30th pick, and they get some offensive line issues there. Some of their guys are getting a little bit old. Zeitler, their one of their guards, is a free agent upcoming.
Interesting seeing the Bills get Ladd McConkey. Does that tell me that they then at that point trade Diggs? You go McConkey, you get a future maybe first round pick or something. That Bills one is an interesting one.
So I think it makes a lot of sense for them to take a guy in Barton who could play all over that line for them and just give them a little more versatility there. And some of these other picks, you mentioned Guyton. I have him going to Dallas. We know Jerry Jones loves those Oklahoma guys. That would make some sense there. And then one of the other guys, Ladd McConkey, going to Buffalo.
That's a little attention-getting.
Yeah.
So back-to-back McConkey to Buffalo.
I think he's going to maybe go a little bit higher than some of the draft nicks have him going around. They have him going early second round. I think he can sneak into that first round. He's really good. And just
Does he go in that first round to try and get that 5th-year control, you think?
He just does everything well, and I like what I saw of him at the Senior Bowl.
Dale, you and I both have the same pick at 32nd overall. Keon Coleman going to the Chiefs. Really good athlete, played basketball.
Interesting. This has them taking the Bills taking Cooper DeJean falling to the Packers. Chopper Robinson. Okay. We got some interesting ones in here. Nothing too crazy. I love the name Kool-Aid McKinstry. Can't wait for that jersey. But yeah, it's just so interesting. Again, a lot of people got this Brian Thomas Jr. guy going high. So that's something to watch out. And everybody has Keon Coleman at 32. Very interesting.
As well as football at Michigan State before he went to Florida State.
Then he came to his senses and transferred, right?
I think if he'd have gotten to play in the college playoff, there'd be a whole lot more buzz about him than there is right now. But he's a big receiver who's incredibly athletic. Nothing really surprising in my 21 through 31. I have DeJean
21 through 32, you mean, buddy?
going a little bit lower than you guys at 25. But for the most part, and Matt, yours will probably confirm the same, we've basically got the same names here, just in different order.
Yeah, and actually with mine, I wanted to have the same spot with Baltimore.
Oh, you got Coleman at 28.
Oh, this one's got Keon at 28. Okay. Xavier Worthy at 32. Okay. Barton. Okay. If that 26 pick is with the idea, the Bucks pick, picking up Brian Thomas Jr., really betting, because I think that would be the, oh my God, we just lost Mike Evans, so we need to bring somebody else in there, so that would make more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to mention that one too. Diggs' production really fell in the second half of the season.
Yes, it did.
Gabe Davis is a free agent to be, so that makes a lot of sense to me. You and I both had Darius Robinson going to the Ravens. They want versatility in that front. They want explosiveness. He plays all up and down the line.
Yeah, but they're getting a new DC, so that DC might not get his pick of a defensive lineman. It would make more sense to go out and get an offensive lineman to protect Lamar, keep him healthier longer.
He's the first guy to me. We'll get to a number of these guys, but you look at him and you say, that guy's a blank.
A Raven.
And that guy's a Raven.
He
that,
really
that,
looks that way.
That
Absolutely.
guy, but there will be some other players where we think, oh, so-and-so, he should be a Packer or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy's a Raven, I think.
And then positionally at 29, I feel really confident that that's going to be a cornerback. And there's a lot of them in this class that fit the mold. I'm not sure which one will end up at 29, but they need a corner to put next to Sutton.
That's going to do it for us for this first edition of the NFL Draft Triple Take. Matt Williamson, Dale Lawley, and me, Mike Pursuta, we're going to be cranking this stuff out between now and the actual NFL Draft, which is scheduled for the end of April in Detroit. So you're going to want to keep it here for, just too many updates and insightful pieces of content.
Of course, man. We're going to keep coming back to it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those organizations that I absolutely trust. They are a storied franchise with great potential. Again, love the story, love the lineage, love it all. So we will be back here revisiting this, see how they adjust it as we move forwards into the offseason. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think the Steelers have plenty of opportunities, but again, that question mark is a big one. Are you going to fill it through the draft? Are you going to fill it through free agency? Or are you just going to roll with Pickett? Questions that have to be answered soon. Hopefully we get the answer right here on Roll Coverage with me, your host, Nick. Thank you for rolling with us. Hopefully you have a great rest of the day. Peace.